Here.
Mr. Steve,
Here.
Mrs. Lewis, Mayor, and Mr. Myers.
Okay. I'm going to skip minutes to previous meetings because we cannot vote on that. New business, Aflac short-term disability. I guess, Doug, you can go ahead and tell us what you want to do. I don't know that we can make a decision, but.
Okay, that's okay. I was anticipating just running over a brief overview of what we offer, and
I don't want to sales pitch. I don't want to sales pitch. I just want to know what you want to do with our employees.
Okay.
I know all about it. Like we have in the county. I'm well aware of what it is.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we're not strong arming the employees. If you're available and I go up, they don't have to come.
I hear you, Mr. Super. So just on myself, just to give you an idea, I've been at Aflac for a little bit over 30 years, and I think everybody that knows me in business and outside of business, I don't strong arm anybody. I'm not the used car salesman of insurance. In the times that we are experiencing right now with COVID, Aflac has put in place opportunities for us to explain our benefits in a remote setting. We have several different ways of doing that. We have videos, we have Zoom videos, I'm sure you guys have been using as well. And another option is just reaching out to the employee, giving them an opportunity over the phone to enroll if they're interested at all. The phone enrollment is very, very easy. I basically just run over the application, name, address, phone number, and get an email from them or a text number, send them an email, they approve it, and that's the complete enrollment system. As far as the payroll deduction, since you're familiar with Aflac, you know that this city is not on the hook for any money at all. This comes out of the employee's paycheck. The advantages of the employee getting with Aflac through the employer, they save about 30%. That 30% savings stays with them if they happen to move away, retire, whatever. But in the beginning of starting a new account with a company, what we do is get a list of the employees. We ask that we could reach out to them via phone at a favorable hour, say between 5:30 and 7, and let them know what's available. I'd like to have.
Yeah, I'm opposed to that. I'm going to tell you where that's from. So go ahead.
Okay. How would you like for me to?
I don't
get them.
I don't mind this being made available to the employees.
Okay.
It should be strictly voluntary on their part, and they definitely should not be contacted off hours.
Okay. How about if we what if we do a benefit survey where it says, here's the benefits that's considered to be offered to you through Aflac, through your employer, payroll deducted. If you're interested, down at the bottom is like a coupon thing or just my contact information. And
yeah, I'm fine with that, as long as we're not strong.
Okay. No, sir, I give you my word. Yeah, no, I give you my word. That's not me. And like I said, you can ask everybody who knows me. I've been Paul for 30 years, and that's not me. So I can work with Stephanie and Paul to come up with a sample letter and get it to you somehow. And then I can edit it however you like to, so it's, to your liking.
Okay. Hey, did Barbara by chance join us?
I'm here, yes.
Hey, there we go. We got a form.
Yeah, and Blaine's here. I was a little late. I didn't want to jump in and interrupt while you had somebody speaking. So
yeah, sorry, Doug. Go ahead.
That's okay.
Is the way to go.
Okay, I can do that. How would you like for me to get that? Who should I get that to? Paul or you or?
Probably the mayor. Let him look at it.
Okay.
And he can get me a copy, or Stephanie can.
Okay. No problem at all.
Okay.
We talked Paul and Stephanie and I talked primarily about our disability program, which, like you said, you're aware of. And is it okay to have the other benefit options available, such as the accident coverage, the cancer coverage?
As long as it's just available in the way you stated in the letter, these are benefits
Yes, sir.
available. If you're interested,
Yes,
to let us know. Yeah.
Yes, sir, it will be. Yeah, okay. All right. I will get that to, I'll get that to Paul and Stephanie tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. Hey, Barbara,
Yeah.
welcome to the meeting. Between you and Jim, can I get a motion on the minutes of the previous meeting?
Oh, yes. I move we approved the minutes of the previous meeting without being read.
A second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Do either one of you have any questions for Mr. Edkins regarding the Aflac? It's pretty cut and dry. I just wanted to make sure that the employees, if they're interested, they know what's available and they have the option of contacting him versus everybody being contacted.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have
that's
any
fine
questions.
with me.
I think it's a good thing to offer them if they want it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Doug. Jim, just proceed tomorrow. Okay. Chief, you're up. You have two items. The first one's police/fire wellness center.
All right, thank
Okay.
you, Tom.
Hey, Doug, I love your commercials. Hey, yeah, I do too. The Police Fire Wellness Center. I wanted to make you all aware of an opportunity, something I think we should do. The Williamstown Elementary School band rooms. There's 2 rooms in that block building that's off to the side of the school. Do you know which building I'm talking about, the 2 block rooms?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
They have offered I was talking about wanting to get an exercise facility for the guys. And I'm not going to be asking the city for any money for equipment. I plan on raising all that money myself, and get them a nice quality workout gym and cardiovascular weightlifting, and then some mats for self-defense stuff. I think it's good for their health and wellness. And I also wanted to invite the fire department to be allowed to work out and exercise there. I think this is a good community thing, and it's good for those departments to be working out together around each other more, builds relationships. But the Board of Education talked with Mike Kling, and the mayor had talked to him. I talked to the mayor about wanting to do something like that somewhere. Mike Sling sent the mayor an email, then sent it to me saying that we could absolutely use that immediately as an exercise facility. Of course, I mean, because the rooms are ready to go. Basically, they're, everything's hooked up. They're warm when you need them to be warm. There's, we got what we need. He's saying go ahead and start working out there. But I wanted to do a fundraiser thing, but I wanted to see what you all thought about this and if you'd support something like that. I just think it's if we're able to get that, and I know this is not a permanent thing yet because we don't know what we're doing with the school, but we wouldn't have expense in even using it, temporarily. They're saying use it. So that's what I'm proposing, is for us to do something like that, funded by what I can raise and get donated, and I'm sure I can get the men of the police department, fire department, a real nice exercise facility that doesn't cost the city much of anything.
How would you solicit funds?
I was thinking about, honestly, just doing a public relations campaign. I've already changed the bank account name. Do you remember when I first came here and we did a Beards for Bucks thing? And people donated. Well, this is just, that was the name on the account. I said, hey, you donate to the Beards for Bucks, and they would drop it off at Williamstown Bank or mail it in. Well, I changed that to Police Fire Wellness Center. I haven't started listing anything, but I changed the name on that account to Police Fire Wellness Center. And I honestly know with a simple Facebook post, while we still have Facebook in my life, because I may get rid of it someday, and then I know I can get a news story out of it if we want that, which I think I would. Just saying, here's what we're working on, and I think it is legitimately something that would be a tremendous benefit. I mean, over half of our guys go to public gyms now. They hate going to public gyms because they're like, oh, I'm a cop and I see people are arrested, and then the COVID stuff and I think it's a no-brainer that, I think it's going to be much safer for our guys to work out in a facility like that as opposed to a public gym. I mean, it is. You look at the risk factors on the amount of people you're exposed to in a public gym, but it's just another reason I think it's a good idea. I wanted to get something like that and have a room for something like that since I came up there. I even thought if the whole, who knows what the future holds on what's going to be in what building, but I think that those two rooms right there, if we can get them, and you all trust me to take care of, I'll do all the work and get all the work covered. I'll get the money raised. And what do you all think?
Well, I think it's a great idea, but I would caution you that, it is definitely it's not a forever deal because that building's coming down. Or it's going to stay up and we won't have one of the two.
Well, if the building comes down, one thing, this is separate from the main building.
Yeah, I know it is, but you're not going to have the newer section of the gym and then a big hole and then this other building off to the side. I mean,
we could relocate. Honestly, Marty, I walked through that school and there are better options in that school now for us for a weight room.
I don't have
there's a better room as soon as you walk in back there, and part of the section that'll still be there. But I know we haven't decided what we're doing for sure. Right. But so it'd be temporary. That's why I'm saying we don't need to really put money into moving weights and cardio equipment and mats into there. That doesn't cost us anything other than buying our equipment.
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay, cool.
I think it's a fine idea.
You think it's a worthwhile project? I really do.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm going to start the ball rolling on that, on raising some funds if you guys are okay with that.
Jim Stage, what do you think?
Pardon?
What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, I think that's fine. The only thing is, I'm glad you're talking temporary because my opinion is we probably won't get that school.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Sometimes
yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah. There's no construction that needs to take place for us to be working out in there. Put it that way.
All right. Well, you don't need a vote. Sounds like you have the blessing. So let's get on to your other thing.
Okay. What was the other thing?
Transferring the names.
Transferring what?
I'll step in on that one. Chief had the opportunity to trade 2 vehicles and be able to purchase a vehicle. We did not set money aside this year for any kind of vehicle for the police department. So we were asking for permission to move $3,500 from the contingency fund to the cruiser fund with the understanding that that money can be put back into the contingency fund.
Less said the better on this for obvious reasons. So we need a motion to make a budget revision transferring $3,500 from contingency fund to the police fund for a purchase. Or not.
We've taken 25 out. Are we going to put it back some way? Because we've been spending money like it's going out of style.
The police department has not.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree, and I've been talking to the mayor, and we're working on getting things under control. This is I don't want to go into executive on a phone call, but this is a vehicle that we don't need to be discussing in an open forum. So,
Yeah, I can give you all the details of exactly what we traded and what we got. But yeah,
Okay.
we came out. We're going. Bottom line is, we got a vehicle for an officer that's 5 years newer and has 53,000 miles less, and it cost us $3,500. And we got rid of a drug forfeiture car and his current cruiser he was using. So we did, it was in the future, I'll get a hold of you guys directly ahead of time, but this just came up, and it was a no-brainer to get rid of the two that we got rid of.
Okay.
So do we need a motion to do that?
yes, please.
I move that we move $3,500 out of the contingency fund into the police fund in order to purchase this vehicle that we're talking about.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Paul had on the agenda, and he was going to address it. The block, and I've talked about this at council before. The block of West 4th Street between Williams and Dodge. Paul has made a request, and I've made a request in the past that we consider moving the parking in that one block only to what would be, I believe, the north side of the street. There's very limited people live there, and there's concern at that intersection that is causing trouble. Just in that one block, not all of 4th Street, just the block between Dodge and Williams.
Is this near where the Methodist Church is, right?
No, this is down where Parsons lives, down there right on the corner of Dodge and West 4th.
Oh, okay.
Where those apartments are?
Yes.
Yeah. I was under the understanding that the reason there was a problem there was school buses, which school buses shouldn't be using that now with the school move.
I think I know that we had a request from Jim Parsons. He's the only person on that side of the street, the only resident that lives on that side of the street, and he can't get out of the driveway. So that's the reason I was bringing it. But Paul had mentioned there were some traffic issues. I mean, we can table this till next meeting if you want. I don't care.
And Marty, I can tell you, I made a phone call to that gentleman and left a message and did not hear back from him. The mayor had asked me to call him about a complaint with the parking there, and that was last week. But I called him back and left a message, and I've not heard back from him.
Well, why don't we just table it till let's
Okay.
just table it till Paul's back. That's okay.
I'll be speaking to that guy if he calls me back.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is Blaine.
Yeah.
You all remember we did a very comprehensive parking ordinance, a few months ago. So obviously, if we're going to change something on that particular street or block, it would have to be done by ordinance and take a couple of readings. And if you decide you want to go in that direction, though, I do think that if you have a situation that's really a public safety issue, I think the chief of police could be authorized administratively to erect signs on a temporary basis, just in the interest of public safety, if you all felt there was some compelling need to do that. But ultimately, I think to be consistent with how you handle parking throughout the other city streets, it has to be done by ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd just say let's just table this and let the chief talk to the guy, and then let's let Paul do his thing next meeting. Is that all right?
That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's fine with me.
Okay. Any other new business from Jim or Barbara?
No.
Okay. moving
No,
on.
while the chief's on here, I'd like to bring up one thing.
I want to ask you
Chief,
something else too. Go ahead.
Okay, up on the corner of 4th Street again, and I think it's Columbia. Guy that has the mowing business there, he's putting trailers around those corners, and at
Okay.
nighttime you can't see those things. They're black.
I'll have it
no
checked
street
out.
light there. Yeah, appreciate that.
4th and Columbia.
Yeah, try to. Yeah,
Okay. I know where you're talking about.
yeah. One sitting on Columbia,
hey,
and one sitting on 4th.
I need to get on the agenda for the next meeting. I'm going to be coming to talk to you guys about ordering a cruiser. So
Well,
be aware.
I'm going to tell you up front that I'm with Jim State. We've got to get the spending under control. So be wary that that'll come up. I mean,
Well,
I'm sorry,
Spend a
Chief.
lot of
I think
money.
it's,
What's that?
we have spent a lot of money, so we got to be careful. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about it.
Right. Okay. Do you guys need me for anything else?
No, I don't. I think you're
No,
good,
sir.
Chief.
Okay, I'm going to sign off. Have a good night, guys and gals.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
On the agenda for February the 1st, and also the medical marijuana ordinance will be on there. Well, it's not an ordinance yet, but we'll be proposing an ordinance.
Okay.
So we'll be talking about both those on February the 1st.
What time is that meeting, Jim?
That meeting's at 7:30.
Okay. Under administrative, I've got 3 different things that I'd like to address. The first one is the CARES Act expired on December 30th, and part of that expired was the 80 hours lead time for employees who contract or are forced to stay home because of COVID. And the county, we talked to an attorney down at the county, and the county decided to go ahead and honor that past January 1st. I mean, it's not our employees' fault if they got COVID after January 1st versus before January 1st. And we're really not out anything. What they did away with was they did away with the tax credit for individual private businesses if they give their employees that benefit, but that doesn't apply to us. So we need to decide whether or not we want to go ahead and honor the 80 hours lead time for the virus, or happen to stay home because of the virus, or if we want to say it's over and you have to use your own leave.
This is Blaine. I think the city.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jim.
go ahead. I was just going to make a comment. Go ahead.
I think that's a policy the city could, in its discretion, grant. I'm guessing you all haven't had this issue, but I will tell you, I had a client, business client, that, where employees who either through themselves or their spouses have been exposed were taking advantage of this. Well, I don't want to say taking advantage. They felt maybe they were taking advantage on more than one occasion of being paid without being docked sick leave for quarantine exposure, and I think I'm guessing with our employee workforce, we probably haven't had that issue, but you could, I think, as a personnel policy, just make it clear to employees that you don't want that situation to be a repetitive circumstance.
Yeah,
But
the important thing
Go
is
ahead.
that we limit it to 80 hours cumulative from the beginning.
Okay.
So you
Okay. Yeah,
can't
that's
keep dipping in still.
right. That's reasonable.
Barbara, Jim?
Fine with me.
Same here.
I think it would be appropriate. I think it would be appropriate just to have have a vote on it so your minutes reflect that, because otherwise, under normal circumstances, I'm assuming if an employee has to be out for 2 weeks that they would have to be docked sick leave, so it might not be a bad idea just to have a motion. Something.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded that we extend the COVID 80-hour maximum leave time that was under the CARES Act past January 1st until further notice. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The second issue I have, Blaine, I'd like to thank you for your years of service. We appreciate you hanging in there with us.
Sure.
Get someone else in there. Paul asked me to pass along that he anticipates having a name for us to vote on for a replacement attorney at the next meeting.
Okay.
So we'll put that on the agenda. And the other thing I have is regarding Jim Parker's seat. I don't know what you guys think, but we have 6 individuals who have placed their names in or have expressed interest in filling that seat. So I thought maybe what we could do is have Stephanie get with us and get with the people and set up one night where we can meet up at the city building. Maybe Jim Stage and I could be out in the council chambers, and Barbara and Paul could be in his office. But break up in twos and interview the people individually, and 5-10 minute interview. It's not going to take a bunch of time. So probably with 6 people, probably an hour and a half, and then we'll just put it on the next agenda and figure it out. That's my thoughts. I don't know what you guys think.
I think that's a good idea.
I do too.
And we need to do it pretty quick because just like tonight, if somebody's absent, there's only 2 of us, but that's not a quorum. So
yeah, I think we can. I think if we talk to them, I mean, I would tell Stephanie that maybe shoot for next Tuesday night because we're used to working on Tuesdays. And then my thought was we would just rate them 1 through 6 individually, and then take the scores together and figure out who it's going to be.
okay. So
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Fair way of doing it, but we'll come up with a set of questions and stuff. And if you have an individual question you ask, you submit it to Stephanie. And Stephanie, you don't mind being the person to put all this together, do you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Let's just, if you have a question that you think we should ask these people, I've got several. We'll be consistent and ask them all the same questions. So just submit it to Stephanie and she'll come up with a sheet for us.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's all I have for this evening. How about you guys? Anything?
I have nothing.
I don't either. No.
All right. Well,
City's going along okay, maintenance-wise, so no problems.
I talked to Paul about the purchases, and him and I are going to be getting with Stephanie, coming up with a way that we can start reviewing bills again and start getting some of this stuff looked at. So it's in the works. So.
Okay,
All right.
good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Moving second, we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 We're adjourned at 8:03 p.m. Thank you, everybody.